Frank, I'm making you a video for the car on all the weird things, just so that you know. So I'm going to go through everything here and give you the little tips. So let me start with the hood. Opening the hood is pretty easy, but I always start with the right pin. And then do the left pin, just because of the way the hood goes. And then I have the standard pull underneath the hood, and I actually put the lift thing, so it should pop up on its own. And you'll see the hood all goes up sideways and everything, but I'm going to grab the light so you can see this. But opening the hood's pretty easy, but I added this guy here, and it's leaving a little mark up here on the hood. It's actually starting to dent it in a little bit. You can see right here, but without this thing, it gets locked sometimes, and you know, it's a real hassle to try to get it to go up. So anyway, that is opening the hood. I'll do closing in just a second, but let me go over a couple of the other items. So here is the infamous alternator, the screecher, if you will. And I think what the problem is, I've already replaced this belt once, which is just the stock alternator belt. You know, you can see it lines up straight. It looks good in you know, in the pulleys, but I think this is an aftermarket alternator because I got all that stereo stuff, and I think this pulley is too wide. And I think what happens is the belt sinks down inside there, and that's what starts to screech. You can see it's already further down than any of the other pulleys. So my thinking was either get the stock alternator pulley, which I can find in one of the order catalogs, and just put that pulley on this alternator, or get a wider belt. But the problem is, if I get a wider belt, this pulley back here, the back pulley, is already kind of maxed out. So I don't know if you could put a wider one on there. So anyway, that's one of the many issues. Down here is the fans. Let me see if you can see down there. Okay, there are the wires. Now note that that red wire is not connected down there. So that's the way it came. I haven't touched it since. Let me reach down here and show you. So this one right here is not connected, and there's also a black one that's not connected. So that's the way it was. I'm assuming that I don't know exactly what that went to, but just wanted to show you that so that you know that those were connected and things actually work with those disconnected. Here is the valve cover, and this is supposed to be in the center of the valve cover, this guy here. Over here, you'll see my Redneck Engineering, because I had a massive oil leak. And over here, show you this. Okay, you see my my duct tape? That was me. I did that. But the PCV valve is staying in there, and there was a massive oil leak before. And the problem is that because these are the wrong valve covers, basically this falls out, and then, you know, when you start driving it, the oil blows everywhere. So that was kind of week one. Oil was blowing everywhere. I got this thing back in and then squared it away. Once you redo the valve covers, where I can move this back over to the center and put the D-shaped circle in the valve cover, then this thing will be in the center, and it will no longer be hitting against. See, the whole problem is this hits against where the AC box is, because it's not centered. It's too far back towards the rear of the car. All right, so that's another thing. Notice I've got the aftermarket air cleaner on there without the flapper, and my ultimate goal is for you to be able to find a way for the real breather to go on, and I've got that in the trunk. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And just to forewarn you, make sure you know, this battery is fake. There's nothing in it. Well, that's not true. The rev limiter is hidden inside it. And if you feel we need to convert to the MSD box and a whole new distributor, which you may, then, you know, you can mount it in the same place where that rev limiter is now. This is all just a fake wire that goes to nowhere. If you look at the main wire, and then the negative wire goes under there and just goes to nowhere too. So you can see that. here is the new master cylinder that is for a manual disc setup. Still terrible. Brake pedal's way too hard. I hate it. And I bought the Hydro Boost system, which, if you're so inclined and want to throw that in, great. If not, you know, I can have the trans guy do that when I get the car back. All right, so let me show you on the inside a couple of things. Actually, you know what? I'll do the trunk first. What do I do with the keys? Oh, here are the keys. Let me grab the keys. Okay, no, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sit in the car. Oh, so right here in the back seat, I have the Hydro Boost system. You can see that it's back there. It's in the back seat and brand new, just arrived today. So that was the one thing that was good about Will not showing up till tomorrow. Which, by the way, Will said he will be here before noon tomorrow. So I'm guessing it'll be, what, maybe 5 o'clock your time before he gets there. But all right, let me go over a couple of things in here. So let's start with the electrical issue. I'll turn the key forward. Okay, so if I just turn the key forward, I want you to see down here underneath the dash. See that red light under there? That's underneath the dash. That is the fan. So when that goes off, it's because the fuse underneath here is blown, and the fuse is, so you can see under here. Actually, I'm going to shut this off. Okay. Well, let me come down here and point and touch the right one. Alright, there we go. So, this one right here is the one that goes to the fan, and that was burned when I first got it. The fan's cut off the first time, and for some reason it is tagged to the blinker fuse, which is this guy. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get this right. That fuse right there. So that fuse blows, and it's related to this guy, this wire. And of course this may look very confusing, but if you are watching this, you'll be able to see it. So that is these two are related. When this red light goes out on this box, then the car overheats, and that fuse is always blown. All right, so there is there's the button right there, just so you can see it, and it's off right now. But so right there, that's the one. All right, let's see what else in here. If you're so inclined, well, you know what? Most of these gauges, I've got somebody that can come in and do them, but we can go through them each one by one. I got the speedometer's not working correctly. Down here, let's see, the temperature gauge, the water gauge, this one right here is not working at all. This one has been working and cut off last week, but I think it's back to working again. And then same thing with the fuel air. So we'll see when you get it if it's working or not. The fuel air light doesn't come on when I pull the lights on, but everything else you can see. I'll pull this on. You can see works here. Of course, this is the other screw up, is these two blinker lights come on when you turn the headlights on, and the parking lights up in the front do not. So I think somebody has it screwed up wired where these two right here are wired to come on when the parking lights should, and the parking lights don't come on because when I do the blinker, they all flash. But anyway, again, I don't know. I don't think you might not get to that, or you might just get to trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with my motor. But anyway, just kind of going through everything so you know. All right, and let me show you last but not least everything I have loaded in the trunk. And I have a light back there, so I don't think you'll need that. All right, let me show you the trunk. And this will cover the last items here. Oh, I do want to show you this. When you open the trunk, get the light. because the trunk is so light, because it's fiberglass, if you just open the trunk like normal, it'll rip off the hinges. So you gotta be real careful with that. So what you gotta do when you open it is just put your hand on top of, like I'm putting my hand up here, and I'm just gonna open it. And you see I got my hand on the trunk, or else it would have flown up real fast. So just make sure that when you open the trunk that you put your hand on top, or else it'll fly open. But okay, so let me go through this stuff here. There's your fuel pump. Here is the get this backwards. There is the flapper, which you know, hoping you're going to be able to find a way for that to go on the motor and still be able to close the hood. Right now it sticks up about 1.5 inches higher than the foam setup I have up there without the flapper on it. Okay, and now that I have the light proper, there's your fuel pump. Here are two really old valve covers. You can do whatever you want with them. They have the correct rubber piece in them with the D hole in the correct location. So I thought maybe you could use that as a sample. In here I have the antifreeze that I took out. So remember, there's no antifreeze in the radiator right now. That's a 50-50 mix, and you can just pour that in whenever you get everything back up and running, if you want to use that. So it's good to go. All right, that's about it. Just thought it'd be easier to go through all this stuff. And again, oh, when you close the trunk, let me show you this. Oh, I can do this. So when you close the trunk, you got to put your hand right in the middle right here. There's only one way to close it. Let me see if I can film myself doing this. Otherwise, it won't close, and then you just press straight down. Okay, and that one actually closed. And again, when you open it, just put your hand right here, or else it'll fly out. All right, that's everything I can think of for now. If that's not enough, we got what, 12 minutes on here, so give you some idea on all the projects. And again, all we're really concerned with is the blown head gasket. So we'll see where it all goes, and hopefully this gives you a little more detail. Thanks, man.